Hey guys, had some, well, I didn't really have free time. I just really hate studying, you know what I mean? You get me? You get me?
Oh, NPC cartel.
And what's a more perfect time to talk about this topic, success, what am I doing with my life, than procrastinating on studying? So, I don't know, I think about success a lot. I remember I was sitting one particular time at the gym, and I just was thinking about how people change when, like, they reach a certain level of success that they're comfortable with, and that's just where they stay at the rest of their life. And I just thought, I don't really want to ever change. I mean, obviously change for the better, but I mean, I'm kind of comfortable with who I am. Like, I'd like to think that I am a good person. I generally do what is right. I'm honest with people above all else. I mean, if you want me to be honest with you, like, there's going to be some good and bad. If I don't like you, it's going to be mostly bad. It's just how it goes. But, so, everyone has their own definition. Everyone has their own definition of success. Case in point, this guy named Matt, he's a server at Lazy Dog. He's a really cool guy. Check him out. Movie Rant Matt over at YouTube. We were I don't know how it got brought up. I think he was talking about like a bunch of YouTube videos or something, and I was like, yeah, I got a few YouTube videos I want to do soon. He's like, oh, what are they? I'm like, oh, one's about success and what am I doing with my life. He's like, well, oh, someone is opening the trash can. Okay, anyway, sorry, I had to like open up the recording to figure out what the heck I was talking about because I got distracted. They were just in the office, and now my grandpa is like, oh my god. Okay, anyway, so back to what I was saying. He said, like, oh, speaking of success, I mean, the way I look at success is us being equals, and he was talking about me and Chris, and I was like, oh, I would have never really thought of it that way. I mean, I guess it just depends from person to person, because like my definition of success would be like being at a point in your life where A, you don't have to worry about money, B, worry about things like day to day, like shelter, food, etc. And then I guess just having general stability in your life, if that makes sense. Because I mean, something we covered in management class is that money doesn't really affect how people perceive their jobs. It's more like there's a point at which money no longer matters. So like I was saying, like having enough money to where it doesn't become an issue. So like, say I need $30,000 to live every year. So like if my salary is $35,000, then generally speaking I should be okay because I don't need that much to survive. So like, say you make like, oh gosh, I need to regather my thoughts here. So I mean, basically just more money does not necessarily equate to more happiness. I remember a quote, I don't remember who said it, but it's like, money helps people become more of who they are. So it's both sides of things. I mean, I was just listening to a podcast where this guy, Ty Lopez, was saying like, some guy in the comments is like, oh, of course you're much happier if you're a millionaire. And he's like, well, you know, it comes with the good and bad. I mean, there's the fake people that want to have like endorsements from you, and then there's like your like day one people who were with you before that ever happened, and in between there's some genuine people who are just like, oh yeah, you're interesting in that. So being that I've been in school for almost 5 years now, well, at least college anyway. I mean, school, I've been in school since I was, God, when did I go to preschool? I don't even, do you guys remember preschool? I don't. I remember like a couple images here and there. But I mean, I guess you could say I've been in school for 19 years total. Like, that's more than a majority of my life. Like, that is a long time to be in school. And just every time you get towards the end of a benchmark in your educational career, you always get that little bit of a lax attitude where it's like senioritis, as they would say in high school. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, just because I'm so ready to be done and move on to what essentially people look at as their final stage of their, I guess you could say, life, because that's when you get a real job. You don't have to work part-time as a server in my case and hate your job but love the people you work with, which is the only reason I stay. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to being done with school, because I mean, when you're not in school, I mean, just looking at your summer break and stuff, if you have a part-time job, you usually pick up more shifts so that you can have more money to do more things on your break. And that's kind of the same thing with a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job. It's like, you don't work ridiculous hours. Like, for instance, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I come in at 4 p.m. I don't leave until usually 11 p.m. depending on how the shift goes. And especially on Fridays and Saturdays where we close at 11 p.m., I probably won't leave until midnight usually. And that takes a toll on people. It's like, you have to kind of plan your day around it. I mean, obviously you plan your day around working at 9 to 5 as well, but it's a little bit different when you get out so late. Like, it's turned me into quite the night owl. Like, normally I don't even go to bed until like 2 a.m. nowadays, just because I'm being productive. And by productive, I mean watching YouTube videos and playing video games. You know what I mean. So now that I have thoroughly talked around success and school, all that stuff, let me paint you a picture of what I would like my future of success to be like. So starting with my job, a lot of questions I've been getting recently now that I'm close to being done with school is, oh, what are you gonna do once school's over, like jobs and stuff? Well, I'm like, well, I'd like to start researching jobs that I'm genuinely interested in, not for like monetary reasons, more for like, I agree with what the company is doing. Like, there's a lot of people probably that have really high paying jobs, but they hate coming into work every day just because they don't, A, like what they're doing, B, don't agree with the company, C, don't like the people involved. So I'd like to find a balance between those factors in the job I'm looking for. And I mean, in terms of pay, like, I'm pretty comfortable living right now. Granted, I live with my grandparents, and I don't have to pay for my house that I live in, my groceries. I still pay to go out, and I don't have to pay for like utilities and all the things involved with having a house. And then luckily I have financial aid for school, but I mean, school is not going to be something I worry about once I'm done with it. And then, I mean, I have a car. I pay for my gas. I pay for part of the insurance just because me and my mom crashed a car, but that's another story. So I mean, my life in terms of what I think of success in that regard is already kind of close to that. Like, I can kind of spend my money recklessly on things I want, like my freaking shoes. Let me tell you, I just dropped a rack on some shoes. We'll show that on Snapchat in the distant future, hopefully, if everything goes well. But yeah, that's kind of what I look for in terms of my future job. Then let's kind of go for, I guess, living situation. I mean, depending on what my relationship status at the point is, I could see myself either living in like an apartment, a condo, God, what else is there? I guess house, apartment, condo, house, balling in a hotel forever. Nah. So if I was single, I'd probably be like living in an apartment, If I was in like a relationship, I'd probably either want to live in a house or a condo. But truth be told, I think housing is kind of overrated, because I mean, you can kind of enjoy the things you enjoy in a house in like a condo or an apartment. I guess the only difference being that parking's a little bit easier, and like your neighbors are a little bit more relaxed depending on where you live in a house, whereas like in an apartment or a condo, the walls are like paper thin, everyone can hear you yelling or whatever. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that in terms of household. I guess I can talk about, like, on the topic of relationships, I kind of feel like being in a relationship is kind of like a society driven thing. Although, I mean, I do enjoy being in a relationship, don't get me wrong, I'm dating someone that's pretty interesting right now, but I don't think it needs to be a part of your life. I mean, if you, there was a while after my last breakup where I was just like, became really independent, and I'm really good at being independent now. I gotta say, I'm really thankful for that part of the breakup. But I mean, I don't know, there's just so much involved in a relationship, but we'll see. I feel like I've kind of experienced it all at this point, outside of like being married, but I mean, that's ways away. Can you believe that when I was in middle school, I thought I'd be married at 25? That would be 3 years from now. I cannot see that happening. My goodness. And I mean, another question that goes along with that is kids. Will I have kids? I always generally say I don't really want to have kids, but I'm not going to be like, if she wants kids, I'm going to be like, nah, it's not going to work. I'm totally fine with that. But I would rather, in that situation, adopt, because there are a lot of kids that are just kind of thrown by the wayside that really could use some homes. And I mean, I've never had any experience with that. I'm luckily had a mom who had me at a very young age. She was 20 when she had me, that thankfully decided to keep me. So shout out to all the single moms. In terms of pets, I really want to have a dog. I've had dogs my entire life. I can't imagine living without a dog. It's just something I gotta have. So like I was saying, guys, I don't really want to change too much of who I am when I become successful. I don't want people to be like, damn, Tim, you've changed. I've seen too many people like that nowadays, where I'm just like, man, you're so different than what I remember. And it's not always necessarily for the better. But anyways, I asked some people on Snapchat what their definition of success is. Hopefully I get some responses. But guys, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think your idea of success is personally. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
What is this garbage?